are presented to me by the mayor of Cumberland and all the dignitaries, and some of them are from Washington. The general come from Washington, which I was very honored to have him, because what he said made a lot of sense to me. Because he said that a staff sergeant is only a point of the blow. Other words, what he means is everything that went on, you was up front. You was the man up front. You're the one that directed fire. You're the man that set on things going. They call upon you to take your squad of men to hell on high water. That's everyday affair. Every day.
And how old were you when you were a staff sergeant? 20?
Yeah, 'cause I went in the service when I was 18, 18, 19, I'd say about 20, yeah.
Wow.
Become a staff sergeant when I was, about 18, 19 years old. I stayed with the 87th Division, Company K, and I was wounded there in 15, yeah. April
You're 45.
45.
Yeah.
I was wounded. Shot through the hip, come out through the other side of my body. Spent a couple months in a hospital. Was transferred to a ROTC unit in around, I guess, I don't know what date that would have been, but I was transferred to there, and I always wanted to get in there and be an officer. But I didn't graduate from high school, so I couldn't make the grade. But that's a funny thing, you have to have so much knowledge to be an officer. But yet, when it comes down to it, you're the one that did all the fighting and everything.
Mm-hmm.
With the officer. So you're equal as they are. You're running some good ones, and you're running some that so-and-so, but the majority of them was good men. Lieutenants on up the line, and maybe a first lieutenant, but they was good men. They all was good men, because when they said we were going to take this town, they was up there with you, up in front. There wasn't no backing down. They give you the final orders, and you proceed to take your platoon and attack area. And 9 out of 10 times, you always come back, he was always patted on the back by one of the lieutenants. Good job was done. We accomplished something today. They had good ones, and they had some that wasn't that intelligent. But we all got it together, but we lived in horrible conditions. Snow and ice, artillery shell hitting trees, fir trees, and the limbs would fly all over the place. In fact, there was much limbs flying around there was shrapnel. And like I always did say, we had our usual olive drab overcoat, which was a different color altogether. And you lay down in the snow and it could spot you a mile away. But you couldn't, government would never change that. We didn't have the rubber boots like we should have had. We had leather boots. And you put leather boots out in the snow and it wasn't over 2 or 3 hours later they're full of water. Then you gotta watch them so at night they don't freeze. And that's where my trouble started with my shoes. My feet was wet. They froze. But I carried on. I went on through anyhow until I was wounded by some sniper out of the building.
Do you know where that was?
Yes, but I forgot the name of the town.
Huh.
We attacked at that town and he shot 3 of us. The other 2 died.
Wow.
From bullet wounds. He shot me right over the hip, right over my left hip, went through my body, come out the right side. I thought I was going in. But I
Do you remember?
went back in Paris to the hospital and they doctored me back up again. I was back out. And I spent the biggest part, I guess, a couple months in there. And I went down one morning and the lieutenant talked to me. He said, I got your orders here, you're going back up. I said, I'm going back up. I said, I just got healed up. He said, well, you got to go back again. And I said, I don't think I could make it to another one. And he said these words, you want to live forever? And to this day, that sunk with me. I said, no, I don't want to live forever, but I sure would like to live some of my life out yet because I'm still young. And less luck happened, they had a part negotiation for around the hospital there for the people that were wounded and everything. We got to see all the buildings, Eiffel Tower and Arc de Triomphe and all them buildings, which was wonderful. It was great to see them. I got a big kick out of that. And then they sent me to this ROTC, Reserve Officer Training School, outside of Paris. I was on the staff there, and I could never got on regular because, as far as being a lieutenant, because I never finished school. Whether I had so much to do with it, I don't know, but I enjoyed myself there because I was at the point where I could tell you exactly what to shoot, where to shoot, how to shoot, even down to a 105 and a 155 artillery. I shot everything there was going. I was in that tank company for a while, and I went over to bazookas, anything, even down to a tank.
What was the main weapon you carried when you were infantry?
I had a 45 plus an M1.
Okay.
I carried them with me all the time. That the 45 wasn't an issue. It wasn't an issue to me. Let's put it that I picked that up on the way because it was very handy. A 45 was pretty good. It would stop a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But I, being up in the ranks, they never said anything about it. I had the 45 when we went into attack. I always make sure I 45 was with me. That was my wife.
Whenever you...
But I used mostly the M1.
Okay.
And whatever they had, the rest of the squad would have. Some of them would have different, because they pick up different guns and on the way. Maybe they could find something that shoots better than what they had. But I don't know if any other gun would shoot any better than the M1 was, rifle.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very handy one. And you carried your cartridge with you, cartridge belt.
Mm-hmm.
I generally had one crisscross shoe to carry that along with you. Because it didn't take too much to run out of ammunition. And then when you run out of ammunition, you got problems.
Yeah.
So you have to learn the people under you how to fire them. I wish they learned that back in the States, but there's a few pointers they didn't learn. But they learned it the hard way. They was good boys.
That day you took out that bunker, can you tell me the events? Can you tell me about that? Is that when you got the Silver Star?
That's what I got the Silver Star for.
Okay.
Well, we was in, I don't know what part it was, but it was in there where they had all these across the top of the ridge. These, what did they call them?
Pill boxes? Or?
They was, I forgot that.
What, the name of the bunkers?
Bunkers, yeah.
The pill boxes?
Yeah.
Were they like that?
And they come over, and our first sergeant come over, and he met us before we got into it. And he come over and he said, you got to take that bunker. We've been assigned to that pillbox. I was trying to think of a pillbox. Pillbox.
Uh-huh.
He said, you got to take that pillbox, so it's in the way. I said, well, can't they bring up a tank or something and blow it apart? Well, we don't do things like that. I said, well, that's great too. And he said, I'll take your squad and see if you can't take care of it. So I went back and got my men. I got 12 of them. And I told them what we had to do. But I wasn't going to send one of them up there. I'll go. So I lined them up that they would have fire all the time. And these holes. Well, they had holes that they shoot out too. And I'd line them up where they'd be laying there, they'd be firing there, they'd be firing at them instead of firing at me. But I got back there, and how I got up the back wall, I don't know. But I got up on top of that tank,